Alright geezers, I'm doing another one of these. Last one was a bit quiet, so I feel like I've sold you short. And I don't want to sell you short. There's a lot of drilling going on. Our wonderful British workforce are making a little bit of noise. So, oh, who am I kidding? Probably Czechoslovenian, knowing the state of this country, innit? The Czechoslovenian builders are making a little bit of noise. So I thought I'd talk over that noise. I'm going to address, because people have been waiting on bated breath. People have been anxiously awaiting my much needed input on this topic. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care about all of this nonsense, but I know you. I know people like you. You want to be spoon-fed the same goop. You want to be fed the same old slop day in, day out, like a baby bird. And I'm more than happy to give it to you. All right, I'm more than happy to give you that. So I'm going to talk about this topic. I'm Alex. Hello, I'm Alex. Whatever his name is. He's been accused by multiple women now of being a bit of a wrong'un, to put it lightly. He's treated women absolutely appallingly, and I'm a champion of women. I like women quite a lot. I like all the world's women. Frankly, if I had it my way, I'd have all the world's women in my mouth. But no, you know what I mean. I'm not really invested in this, but it'll get views, potentially. And that's all I care about, ladies, gentlemen, and those who don't identify. That's all I care about. In it for the money. Yeah, I'm like Frank Zappa. I'm in it for the money. But he's been dobbed with all sorts of allegations. There's a big question now of what did his friends know? Were his friends enabling this sort of behaviour? I never liked the guy. He always rubbed me the wrong way. That fucker was always a bit dubious with his little, check his hard drive haircut and his stupid tongue. He's got a stupid voice. He's got a stupid tongue. I didn't like him. All right, I never liked the guy. He always looks like he's thirsty. If that makes any sense. He always looks like he's thirsty. He does this weird, really sort of unnerving thing with his mouth, his lips and his tongue. He always looks a little bit devious. So I knew who he was. Back long before this stuff. Before the Slazzo nonsense, which was nonsense. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But again, he's a hypocrite. He is. Because he did this sort of holier than thou, whiter than white, sort of, oh, look at me, I'm a good progressive boy. And it comes out like it does for every last one of these tossers. It comes out he's not practicing what he preaches. And he's hurt women, supposedly, allegedly. I don't want to get sued. Alright, I'm not looking to get sued. So, now the big question is, a lot of recently concussed people are asking questions. Were his friends in on it? I don't think so. This fucking hell, I watch his content as well. A casual purveyor of this bloke's content. What was his name? Nibbler? I'm the Nibbler? No idea. Nibbler. Nibbler? That sounds correct. Nibbler. He did a video not too long ago on Onision, which I quite enjoyed. Background fodder is what I call stuff like that. You slap it on in the background. It's good. It's good to have someone warbling away. That's sort of what this is. But, my problem with people like that, with the hello, I'm Alex, this individual, shall we say, my issue with people like that isn't even what he's done or been accused of doing. It's the dishonesty, innit? It's the dishonesty. Like, you come here, I tell you what I am. Not a good bloke. Alright, I'm not a good bloke. Some would call me a scumbag. I can live with that. I can live very, very comfortably with that fact. But I'm not lying to you. I'm not dancing about wearing some sort of costume of this great bloke, because I'm not. I'm a deeply flawed, deeply, deeply flawed, selfish individual. But I'm honest about it. And you have people like this, not just him, but a lot of people in this space. You have people like him who show the world a mask of something they purport to be. And yet when push comes to shove, all of this stuff comes out. And it always does. All right? I readily admit I'm an arsehole. Arsehole, your soul, I sold, my soul. I readily admit that, all right? I'm not trying to fool you into thinking I'm anything but. But this little deviant, this little scamp, who must be about 5'7", innit? He radiates 5'7" energy, and as we've already established, anyone shorter than me, I quite literally look down on. So I never liked the geezer. You know what I mean? Never liked the geezer. He rubbed me the wrong way. And I am here on the internet, evidently, giving my ill-informed, low-quality content. Just my 2 pence, my 50 pence on the situation. 50 pence, he's a great rapper. A great up-and-coming hip-hopper. But I don't care, innit? I don't care. I know what you want. You want this slop. You want people to talk about internet drama. I couldn't care less. I've got stuff to worry about. You know what I mean? I've got stuff to worry about. But I'm going to talk about it because, once again, being honest here, I want views. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about stuff that will give me views. And if you're watching this, it works, innit? It works. But I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. As of right now, he hasn't made a response. I think his career is basically over. Is it deserved? Probably, personally. I don't see how you refute this. We're not at the point where deepfake is that good. I think he's acted absolutely appallingly to these women. And my only gripe with this is legal action. You know what I mean? In this situation, it's not so difficult because there is just such hard evidence. But in a lot of these cases, you see it all the time. It's an anonymous Twitter user, ex-user, whatever space term they're using now. It's another anonymous user posting some sort of twitlonger with no hard evidence or proof, and people go with it. And innocent people have been caught in the crossfire. That's my issue with it. I think personally, you should take legal action first. You should take legal action first. That's my opinion on things like this. Because if even half of this is true, I would like to see justice for these women, personally. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of women. And I'm not a big fan of 5'7" individuals who have weird tongues and sort of punchable faces. He has, though, doesn't he? He has got a punchable face. So that's me talking about the hello, I'm Alex. I don't know why that tickles me so much. Situation, probably get 40 views. I'm feeling 12 dislikes on this one. I'm feeling 12 dislikes and a very long comment. But this is what I'm going to do, because I had a podcast, which I will bring back. Got a decent following on that. People loved me. Oh, all the boys said I could have been a model. And look at me now. Squandering my finite time on this godless rock, talking about more slop fodder. It's slop fodder you people want. So I'm nothing but a pleaser. I'm a very attentive lover, all right? And I'm loving you up. So that's me talking about the I'm Alex situation, the hello, I'm Alex situation. He deserves what comes to him, probably. If he is innocent, he could be, maybe, possibly. There's some sort of, some ultra advanced deep fake technology now. Although, to be fair, to use his terminology, I'd imagine there's bigger fish to fry than some semi-relevant community. What's the term? I don't even know these terms. Commentary channel creator. You know what I mean? I feel there's bigger fish in the game. If you're going to make deep fake that convincing, you go after politicians. You go after, you know, people in oppressed regimes. Oppressed regimes. You go after people being oppressed in regimes. You know what I mean? The state goes after people like that with this sort of technology. I don't see it being used on a person as, dare I say, bit rich coming from me, insignificant as him. Right, geezers, thought I'd do another one of these. I'm just going to ramble off the cuff, on the money. King Charles, he's on the money. Word association, off to a good start. What's pissed me off today? What's the pat peeve of the day? Well, the Stonehenge nonsense. It's stupid. It is. These are the same vandals, vagabonds. They always do this. It's middle class charlatans with far too much time to kill, and I've been proven right. Once again, my estimations have been proven right. They are the Green Peter. That's what they are. Forget Blue Peter, this is Green Peter. And all they're doing is putting people off their message. You know, again, throwing soup at a glass panel with a painting behind it. Heaven forbid. You know, meanwhile, there's people in this country, there's working class families in this country who are struggling to make ends meet, and you have these absolute fucking toffs larping about in the Louvre, throwing soup at, you know, 500, 600-year-old paintings, whatever. And what have you done? You know, well done. That's going to take about 4 minutes to wipe down, because all of these paintings, surprise, surprise, because of hooligans like this, are protected by glass. So you've achieved nothing, and you've made the whole world think you're a prat. And that's what you are. You are a prat. So, you know, Just Stop Oil. If you're a part of Just Stop Oil, if you support Just Stop Oil, you're a moron. We've already established that. But it's more than that, you know, because holding up traffic, you know, slowing down ambulances, at some point, it doesn't just become hooliganism. At some point, it becomes domestic terrorism. And, you know, these people, they need to be stopped, all right? They need to be stopped. And once again, it's a middle-class pastime. It's always been a middle-class pastime. This skin suit. You know what I mean? They wear this skin suit of, you know, sticking up for typically left-wing, you know, working class ideals. But these are the same fucking people, I have no doubt in my mind, who would absolutely support carving up our countryside some more to build 50,000 new houses, 100,000 new houses. It's typical, and it's to be expected. They wave the green flag while supporting policies of carving up our countryside. No, listen, we need to reforest areas, not deforest areas, because again, maybe this makes me a xenomorph, maybe this makes me one of these xylophobes the media's always harping on about, but I don't think we should destroy our countryside. I quite enjoy our countryside, I live there. You know, again, it's all of this nonsense. They protest green. You've got to be green. You've got to be green. Those peasants, those plebeians, they have to be green. Meanwhile, they take private jets around the world, board meeting to board meeting. You could do it on fucking Zoom. You know what I mean? You could do it on fucking Zoom. And they're laughing at you. It's like the Beatles lyric. Don't you think the Joker laughs at you? That's what these jokers are doing. They're laughing up a storm at you. And you know, I do feel sorry for the recently concussed who fall for this stuff, because it is a con. All of this nonsense, it is a con. And yeah, you know, that pissed me off. So I've started getting that off my chest. That's what I'm going to do this for. You know what I mean? It'll get 40 views, 17 dislikes, whatever. But I'm doing this, splurging it out, you know, sodding it up, the cubicle stool of the internet. It just annoys me, because there are good people in this country that are going hungry. And once again, these absolute toffs, these charlatans, get to LARP as activists. And you know what I mean? Absolutely green. Let's be green. I'm on board with that. But no one has the power to hold China to account. No one has the power to hold India to account. No one has the power to hold Russia or America to account. They're the big players. You know, they're the countries these activists would label climate criminals. And yet no one has the power to do anything about it. We can't do anything about it because, you know, we're no longer one of the big players. And that is why, once again, ladies, gentlemen, those who don't identify, that is why we need to bring our empire back. Because we'd hold these fuckers to account. Can't do it now because we're a weakened nation. But that's a different topic entirely. But yeah, the Stonehenge thing, very stupid. Apparently it'll wash away with the rain, but it's the first day of summer, so you know, hopefully it gets hosed down. That's what I'm hoping for. It gets hosed down. But you know, that just bugs me, because all you're doing is making you, people like you, and the ideas you stand for, supposedly, again, it's a skin suit. They dance around wearing these costumes of giving a fuck. I don't think they actually care. But if they do care, let's say for sake of argument they do care, they do give a toss, you're not helping your cause. You're hindering your cause. You're making your cause and the people that, you know, believe in it look like unhinged, unpleasant, uncouth individuals. And, you know, I think it's doing more harm than good. But that's my rant for the day, the pat peeve of the day out of the way. This is another episode of whatever this is. You know, we're starting again. Earth apologists. Let's have another go at that. Let's have another run up. But, you know, stupid. Really stupid. Stupid people. And again, you know, absolutely green. But we've gone full circle. We used to have milk in glass bottles. We used to have paper bags, right? Paper bags. It worked. No one had a problem with that. Then everything went plastic. And now we're going back. Why didn't we just stay where we were? And it annoys me, because, you know, you're in Sainsbury's. All right, you know, maybe not Sainsbury's, but you're in a supermarket, and you've got a hankering. That's a good word. That's a word that needs to come. That's a word we need to bring back, innit? You've got a hankering for a jam donut, right? Now this isn't Lidl, mind you, where they've got that, you know, bakery bit. You know, they come in little boxes, jam donuts, 5 a piece, and it's like a paper bag. Brilliant. Paper. What a genius contraption. Paper. You've got a paper bag. But then, because apparently I need to be able to see the donut in question. The donut in question is the fucker who designed the bag. There's a little plastic window. There's a plastic window in the paper bag. Because evidently everyone's got trust issues. I can't trust something that reads in big bold letters, 5 jam donuts is going to contain 5 jam cunting smegging donuts. No, no, of course not. So they've got a little plastic bag, and that tiny little plastic window, means you can't recycle it. You can't recycle that. I think that's very silly. I think that's incredibly silly. And this is the thing that ticks me off. This is a different rant entirely. But it's the constant fucking with things that don't need to be fucked with. You know, because horse and carriage was very green. Don't let them forget that. Don't let people forget that. Horse and carriage was very, very green. And then cars came about. Cars, not so green. Horse and carriage, right? Horse manure, great for the environment, right? It's like, honestly, it's like Uber. So many people would have jobs, right? There'd be plenty of jobs going round. Everyone would be able to train as a horse driver or whatever, a cart master, I don't fucking know. And you, honestly, imagine that. Imagine a self-automated, a self-driving vehicle, which is totally green, that you can be boozed up in the back seat with, and it's wonderful, and it's classy, and it's elegant, right? Horse and carriage. What happened to horse and carriage? Why can't we bring that back? But no, of course not. You've got to have a fucking high and die. You've got to have 4 Toyotas to every lane, to every path, to every driveway. No. You know what I mean? It does. It bothers me. But that's a different tangent entirely. That's a different tangent for a different day. I personally think, right, Uber is an idea for you. Uber for horses. You call it Hoove. HWV. Hoove. And get carried away. Get carried to your destination in style. Right? Horse and carriage. Bring horse and carriage back. It's green. It would be great because, you know, people would have jobs. Imagine the job market for horse drivers. Bring it back. And you can modernise it. You can have air conditioning. You can have built-in TVs or whatever. Not sure how that would work with electricity, but no, electric powered horse and carriage. What's the issue? I think it would be quite good. I think that would work quite well. Tarmac cycle lanes. We don't need cycle lanes, right? Cyclists. There does need to at some point. All right. We all know it. We all accept this now. There does need to be a point where we address the cyclist question. But let's say hypothetically we get to that point. Tarmac cycle lanes make horse and carriageways. Make carriageways. Maybe, possibly. Dual carriageways. And bring horse and carriage back. Phase out cars. I think if people had the option for horse and carriage, a lot of people would make the shift back. A lot of people would make the shift. I just think it's silly. All right, you're making vehicles that were never designed to be green, and you're trying to make those vehicles green. And I don't see it working out. Meanwhile, you have plenty of horses. Plenty of horses. Get the horse population up. All right? Get the horse population up. And I think it would be very good. I think it would be very, very good. But that's a different tangent entirely. The Stonehenge thing is stupid. All right, we all agree on that. We all agree on that. And completely lost my train of thought. Yes, I'm doing another one of these because why not? Why not? Last one went down like a cup of cold vomit, so I thought I'd try again. We're trying again. You know, I got into the groove, got a good 12 episodes in, went up the Swanee, but it's fine. It's fine. We start again. In life, when life throws you lemons, you open your mouth waiting to receive, I assume. I assume that's how the saying goes. I'm going to have a sip of tea. I'm gonna warn you. I'm not an ASMR channel. Oh, little cold. Sort of lost my train of thought there. Lost my horse and carriage. Lost my horse and carriage of thought there. But I think that would be really cool. Bring back horse and carriage. And you incentivise people with a stylish, green, classy, affordable alternative to cars. Alright? And we'll still have hobbyists. You can still have Top Gear reruns on Dave. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm not that kind of authoritarian. I wouldn't do that to you. But horse and carriage, I think that'd be really cool. And some things go out of fashion and they shouldn't. Right? Bowler hats. Silly. Alright? A little silly. A little silly. I can see why they went the way of the dodo. But horse and carriage, I think that's a pretty cool idea. I think that's a really cool idea. And, you know, but this is the first episode officially. Well, first episode now, I suppose. The rest got retconned. Fine. Not angry about it. Not angry about it. But the Just Stop Oil thing, it's green Peter. It's silly. Holding up traffic, getting in the way of ambulances, stupid. Don't do that. You're a moron if you do that. But that's all I really have to say on that matter. How are you? Yeah? You alright? You good? Checking in on you. I wouldn't leave you behind. Not when the world's on fire. And the world is on fire. It's hot. It's really hot today. It's the 20th of June. And I'm doing a topical one. I don't usually do topical, but I'm cynical. This is a cynical attempt to get views. Alright? I'm going to be honest with you. If you listen to this, you're going to get honesty. And it may not be pleasant honesty, but it's honesty. And I'm giving that to you. Alright? Because I'm a diamond geezer. I am. I'm a diamond geezer. I'm going to tell you the truth. Just Stop Oil should live up to most of their name and just stop. Horse and carriage needs to come back. Hoove. Invest in Hoove. We're going to start it up. Me and my Edelweiss. That's the word, isn't it? Edelweiss. Me and my German fiance, we're gonna start it up. We're gonna do Hoove. It's gonna be horse and carriage. I don't own any horses. I don't own any carriages, but I'll make it work somehow. Just get the idea out there. Get shareholders on board. Then buy some horses. We can do this. Horse and carriage Uber. Let's get it done. All right. Forget about punishing people who drive like petrol-powered, motor vehicles. Don't punish them, incentivise them with a better alternative. And the better alternative isn't this little green sort of lemon car. It's a horse and it's a carriage and it works. It worked in the 1800s and nothing terrible ever happened in the 1800s. So, that's a fact, by the way, look it up, historically accurate. We're going to bring that back. But the Stonehenge thing is pointless. I've already touched on that. And this was a rant, wasn't it? This was a rant. Self-automated horses. They're already there. They're there. They're waiting. They're waiting for their glory days to once again come. Imagine that. That's a much nicer sound, isn't it? The clipping and clopping of hooves on those winding cobblestone paths. Beautiful. That's England. That's an England we fucking lost. And never forget that. We've got to bring it back. But anyway, I'm knackered, honestly. I'm tired after that. So I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to get off. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. Not because I don't love you, but because I do. Thank you for listening. Don't comment. Don't subscribe. Dislike this video. Oh, vey, what's my life come to? But be safe. Be kind if you wanna, I guess. If you don't want to be kind, don't be kind. You know, be mean, be cruel. But it's been lovely speaking to you again, and I'll be back when something else happens I can capitalise on the newness of, because that's all this is, folks. This is me talking about current topics as some cynical attempt to garner viewership. Alright, I'm honest, I can't not be. Clinically bullshit intolerant. You know, frankly, I'm just impressed that this whole Illuminati thing blares on. What a name, blares on. Why would you call yourself something moronic like Illuminati when your name's Blair's on? You know what I mean? Now I get David Bowie, David Jones, doesn't have the same appeal. Blair's on. I think that's a much cooler name, frankly. Zon. You know what I mean? That's like some sort of Star Trek name, innit? My name is Zon. I come from the planet Balvazar. You know what I mean? That's great. I love that. But I'm quite frankly bored of this. I'm bored of hearing about it. It's been going on for over a year now. I have never seen a controversy with such shelf life. Honestly, it's like tinned vegetables. It never fucking goes off. And I'm bored of it. You know, remember the Colleen Ballinger thing? The colon Ballinger or whatever situation. Like with that lasted, and that was serious. That was like serious stuff. You know, that lasted for maybe a fortnight, and then everyone unanimously shut up about it. The Blair's on thing, it's still going. People are still talking about it and raking in mad money off of it. And I thought, hang on, if they're going to make money off of it, I should be able to make money off of it. You know what I mean? Seeing as dear old Blair isn't making money anymore. This is how capitalism works. She's not making money anymore. Someone has to. And I'd much prefer it to be me than all of these other shit shovelers. You know what I mean? But no, I personally think it's blown a little bit out of proportion. Like, yeah, what she did was bad, but considering there are full fat vinyl fucking dashboard surround sound paedophiles on this platform, and they've still got careers, they're still very successful. You know, can we cancel the really bad ones first before we get to the more nitpicky, oh, you know, she's a bit of a scumbag, or scumbagette, if you will. You know, I'm a liberal. I'm for equal treatment across the board. But, does anyone care about this? I mean, obviously the people involved care about it, but why do I have to hear about it? You know what I mean? How am I involved? And how do I make money off of it? But I'm just tired of it, really. I think it's quite selfish. I think it's really quite selfish for a story like this to take up so much airtime. Meanwhile, you know, there's children barefooted walking through the rubble of their family homes all around the world, you know, thanks to the American imperialist machine. But it's all right, isn't it? It's all right. It is the definition of a first world problem. And I think we need a war. You know what I mean? I think we need another world war. Obviously, I wouldn't serve. I'd get locked up for being a chicken shit yellow belly bastard. But I think we do need a war, because A, too many people, and B, we've run out of real things to complain about. You know what I mean? We're having to police people's language because there's nothing else to do. It is the societal equivalent of twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the apocalypse. And all I'm saying is maybe we need an apocalypse. You know? As long as I'm not caught in the crossfire, I'd quite like that. I'd be on board with that. But the Blazon situation. Does anyone care? Do you really care about this? Tell me in the comments below why you really care about this situation, why people are still piggybacking off of it. You know, because it's a very cynical game, this internet creator nonsense. They're only in it for the money, sweetheart. They're only in it for the money. And the difference between me and them, A, they're doing a better job at it. Begrudgingly, they're doing a much better job at it. And B, I tell you that. And maybe that's why I'm not successful. You know, maybe that's why I've got no views. Because I tell it to you how it is. And people don't want honesty. You know, people always bemoan. They want honesty in politics. They want honesty in all sorts of situations. And yet the person who tells the truth is ostracised. The person who tells the truth is chastised. And the reason Blazon got such a massive fallout is because she, like all of these people, positioned herself as some sort of holier than thou good person, some morally pure angel speaking out against injustice. And then it turns out she's more or less doing the same shit. I get why that's controversial. All I'm saying is, really, her biggest crime was hypocrisy. You know what I mean? Her biggest crime was hypocrisy. As far as I know, hasn't killed anyone. Not a full fat hebephile. Oh, car coming. Car coming. Those could be my last words, dear viewer. Those could be my famous last words. No, you know what I mean? I think it's a little bit silly. I do. I think it's a little bit silly. And people have blown it out of proportion. People are blowing it out of proportion. Absolutely. You know, the people who have been, you know, buggered by her, you know, sorry about that, mate, but these things happen. You know what I mean? Worse things have happened is what I'm getting at. Worse things have happened. And I just wish people would stop talking about it, frankly, because there's worse stuff going on. You know what I mean? My view is quite simple. When there is children and women and disabled people being butchered and massacred as we speak, I'd rather these fuckers did content on that. You know what I mean? But I know the slop you want. I know the slop you want. You're very, very stupid people. Most of you are Americans. Some of you, God forbid, mainland Europeans. I know the content you want. And unfortunately, you know, I'm like an overbearing mother. If you want another piece of chocolate cake, I'm going to give you that piece of chocolate cake. I can't help it, because I love you, all right? And I want you to be happy. So I'm making this content for you because this is clearly what you want. I'd rather you went off and read a Bronte novel, you know what I mean, or delved into the rich musical tapestry of the Kate Bush discography. But no, you're not going to fucking do that, are you? No, of course you're not. You're never going to do that. You instead want to be just, through a fucking tube. You just... Through a fucking tube, you want to be fed the same shit over and over on an IV, strung out on an IV, just getting fed the same nonsense. Oh, this situation's gotten worse, all capital letters, who cares? You know what I mean? Don't you have anything better to do? Arguably, you could say that about me. You know, and now I'm going to get morons in the comments. You're tipping away. Oh, you're typing up a storm down there about how I'm defending Illuminati. Probably because I'm going to title this video Defending Illuminati. But, you know, that's a minor detail. That's a triviality. I'm not defending anyone. I just think I think it's been blown out of proportion. It's been going on for a year, and quite frankly, my dear viewer, I'm bored of hearing about it. You know, bad things happen. Most people don't complain about it on the internet. I do, though. Right, geezers. I thought I'd do another one of these. Because, the last one, people love the last one. So I thought I'd, poke the bear some more. Why not? Really shake the beehive. And what's a hot topic? What is an issue in our modern day and age that really, really fucks people off? And it would have to be, without doubt, transgender. So I'm going to have a little bit of a chin wobble about transgenderism. And more specifically, case in point, Graham Linehan. Yeah, Graham Linehan, creator of... I don't know why I don't know why. I don't know why I'm so tickled. I'm really enjoying this. I really like being alive. Viewers may disagree, but I'm quite a fan of me being alive, frankly. Who's sending me a message now? Oh, people like me. Someone likes me. See, someone cares. Yes, Graham Linehan, famous. What do you want now? What do you want now, boy? Graham Linehan, famous creator of Father Ted and the It Crowd. Again, do you say the It Crowd? I've always said the IT crowd because, they work with computers, innit? It doesn't really make sense, the It Crowd, because, they're not. And they're always trying to remake, is what I'm trying to say. They're always trying to remake British sitcoms. You know what I mean? And they've tried to remake the IT Crowd in the past. And I never got that because they already remade the IT Crowd. It was called The Big Bang Theory. And it was unfortunately very successful. It ran for, I believe, about 470 series. So, 470 seasons. Sorry. They do things weird there. America, devoid of imagination. They sort of vampire off of us. They vampire off the superior culture. They've always done that. But yes, Graham Linehan. It's old news now. I'm not even going to get views about it. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to call this something preposterous. Like, debunking transgenderism. Yeah, that's what I'll do. This video will probably be called Debunking the Trans Agenda. Yeah, just like the gay agenda. Just like the gender agenda, innit? All these fucking gender fluids. I think I got gender fluid on my shirt once. Yes, Graham Linehan, he's been a very naughty boy. He has. He's been a very naughty boy. Recently came out with a book, which is basically, as far as I can tell, endless whining, typical of the Irish, but endless whining about how, I don't fucking know, trans people took everything from him. Now, I may be out of the loop, I may be too much of a Maoist, pink-pilled libtard to understand, but as far as I know, a dark, sinister cabal of trans people didn't make his wife divorce him. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, comment below. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think his family no longer talk to him because of some sinister, you know what I mean? Some sinister gender cabal. The pink cabal. if you will. I don't think it's the transgenders. I think it's the fact, you know, Christmas dinner, lovely. Brussels sprouts. Do you like Brussels sprouts? I'm impartial. I could go for a Brussels sprout. To quote the immortal words of one Hall and Oates, I could go for that. I don't know why I'm so tickled today. I'm really enjoying this. I like being alive. Oh no, serious now. It's a serious topic. I'm trying to get views. Another shameless attempt to garner views since the Farage one did really well. For a channel with no subscribers, no one watching, 150 views in a day, not bad. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing politics. And transgender seems to get big views. Honestly, people have enriched themselves. People have made themselves multi-cunting millionaires off of hating trans people. You know, if I could make $1 million off of, you know, maybe not hating trans people, I'll do that. I'll happily do that. What was I saying? Yeah, Christmas dinner, lovely. Yeah, Brussels sprouts wrapped in bacon. Have you ever had Brussels sprouts wrapped in bacon? Try it. It will put the Brussels sprout naysayers into a fit, into a conniption. They won't believe their mouths. But yeah, lovely. Little Graham there. Big Graham. Very big Graham. You know, this hulking giant of a man with one of those little Christmas crowns. You know, everyone is... it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful, wholesome event. Everyone there. Nieces, nephews, uncles and aunts alike. There's some of that appetizer. One of those big fuck-off bottles of appetizer on the table. There's some discarded relics of the Christmas cracker that was cracked before. Strewn on the table. You know, tinsel. I feel like Graham. I feel like the big man himself. He's a fan of tinsel. I could be wrong. Maybe that's slander. Maybe he'll sue me next. But, you know, they're having a lovely dinner. Delicious roast beef. I imagine that's his wife. And then all of a sudden it goes quiet. Graham's thinking of something. Graham has something to say. And he puts down his knife and fork. Tense. Nervous. They've had this conversation before. They know exactly where this is going. I think they know exactly where this is going. It's all these bloody transgenders. It's all these bloody transgenders. Mutilating the kids. Honestly. Sharon, they're mutilating the fucking kids. And all of a sudden, no one's eating anymore. All of a sudden, no one wants roast beef. Honestly, have you seen it? They're mutilating the children. Christmas, once again, ruined. And there's only so many years of that the poor woman can put up with. You know what I mean? So, again, maybe it will come out. Maybe it will come out that there's some dark, sinister thing going on. You know, some sort of like tap water mind control. You will leave him. You will leave Mr. Lynham. But, you know, who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? I'm tired. Yeah, and that's my problem. That's my problem with it. He didn't do transphobia right, because these Daily Wire ghouls, they make themselves money off of it. They make themselves mad money off of it. This fucker, he loses money. He's not playing the game right. Graham, you're not playing the game right. Get your head in the game. Honestly, if you're going to be a bigot, at least try and be a rich one. You know what I mean? At least be a rich one. But, you know, and people say we're like the most transphobic country ever. But there's a reason stuff like this makes millionaires in America and makes other people fucking destitute. All right? Because, once again, I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to bring this card into conversation. We are a superior nation morally, all right? You may have this big fuck off army that you bleed $1 trillion a year into, but we've always been morally superior. And quite frankly, dear viewer, we always fucking will be. Right, geezers, I come to you today with some sad news. This is sad news. Paul McCartney, Sir James Paul McCartney, has died. You know, I'm a little bit speechless. It's still raw. It's still fresh. You know, 1 minute he's there for 103 years, and then like that he's gone. It's difficult. It's hard. I mean, he's a legend. No one would dispute that. Paul McCartney's a legend. Yeah, all right. Wings were a bit shit, but the Beatles were really good. I don't think that's a controversial opinion. The Beatles were really all right, but obviously, I know you're worried. You're on the edge of your seat. You're concerned for my well-being. I am here to thankfully inform you I was totally unharmed in the death of Sir Paul McCartney. All right, I know you were worried about that, but don't worry. Don't worry. I am still alive. I'm fine, by the way. Fine. And it's sad. You know, it is. But we carry on. And he had a good run. Rare. It's rare you see someone, you know, at 103 years old, still bopping about on stage. He had a good run. But yes, I know you're all concerned. Earth apologist, oh my God, Paul McCartney's dead. Is Earth apologist all right? I am fine. I was unharmed in the passing of Sir Paul. And obviously, need to get this little detail out of the way. Paul McCartney hasn't actually died yet. But I thought if I made the video now, I'd have one ready for when the fucker does kick the bucket. You know what I mean? See, thinking ahead. We should do that. Start making obituaries for people who haven't died yet. Because, again, maybe this is me being a little bit of some sort of mystical fortune teller. At some point, I could be wrong, at some point Paul McCartney probably will die. So, you know what I mean? Let's get a video on it now. So this is the video. I'll cut this bit out, obviously. Now, when he actually does die, I'll repost this. Double the views. Huh? Double the views. Get some hashtag engagement on that boy. But it is very sad that Paul McCartney has died at some point in the future. You know, I mean, who doesn't like the Beatles? Come Together. Here Comes the Sun. I like Sexy Sadie. That's a good one. Strawberry Fields Forever. Ah, great ones. I love all of those. Octopus's Garden. Come on. Who doesn't like Octopus's Garden? You know what I mean? But we need time. We need time to mourn. We need time to grieve for this sad event that hasn't happened yet. And people will have a go at me. Do have a go at me in the comment section. If you hate this video, please let me know. I'm desperate to know. Engagement. Give me that engagement. Comment below. But, you know, some people will be stomping their feet, moaning, probably from Peru or Chile or fucking Uruguay. For whatever reason, Paul McCartney's like a god over there. Again, you're going to look pretty fucking silly when Paul McCartney is dead, aren't you? Yeah? Yeah, you're all smug now. Oh, Paul McCartney isn't dead. Yeah, well, what happens when he is dead? And once again, I'm proven right. Oh, fuck me. Earth Apologist was right when he said Paul McCartney was dead. Told you. Told you. Now, I'm not talking about those, absolute fruitcakes claiming Paul McCartney's been dead for 50 years. No. No, I mean, he looks... he looks like he's been... no, I mean, he looks like he's been dug up, but I'm pretty sure he's not dead. Maybe he is dead. Maybe I was right the first time. Paul McCartney is dead. Alright, geezers. It's a good day. It's a day to celebrate. Because the truth is once again coming out. And we need to talk about it. You come here for the truth. All four of you. Which, all of you, I assume, smell wonderful. If you're a man, if you're a fella, 6 foot, trusted, loved by women, the elderly, children, people salute you as you pass. The women, beautiful, fiercely intelligent. We need to talk about something, all right? Because something's been weighing on me for a while now. And I sort of use this place, much like every other dosser on the internet, I am splurging my opinion up the walls of it. So here it is. And this is less of an opinion, this is more of a factual assessment. Because I've heard some things about Jared Fogle recently. Old news, but it's like new news now. It's news. That must be where the word comes from. Jared Fogle, right? And I've heard people speak on him. And the narrative is partially correct. The narrative is partially correct. Jared Fogle, Jared from Subway, he was found with child porn on his laptop. Dirty, dirty, wrong 'un. But I think we should also be allowed to ask questions. You know what I mean? We should be allowed to ask questions. He had his day in court, he was found guilty. I have no issue with that. What I have issue is, Jared was a symptom of something far, far darker. Jared Fogle knew something that Subway did not want getting out. And I know it sounds crazy. This is crazy talk. This is the sort of talk that gets you, taken to Dallas. But it's the truth, and you need to know the truth. If I go offline after this, know that those Subway fuckers got me, alright? Jared Fogle was the fool guy, alright? He was set up. Now, I'm not saying the filth on his computer was a plant, because as we all know, the only plants Subway are involved in, they put in their fucking food. But, it's dodgy. He flew too close to the sun and they buggered him. Now, is Jared Fogle a wrong 'un? Probably, yeah. Probably is. He was convicted, fair enough. Innocent till proven guilty. He was found to have done the dirty. I personally believe he knew too much. He got too powerful. And Subway had to deal with it. Because he knew things and he knows things. And best believe, sooner or later, let's just say, Jared Fogle may, wink wink, kill himself in his cell when the cameras start glitching out, because he knows something. Alright? Now, again, I'm not saying this as fact, but all I'm saying is this, dear listener, dear viewer, do not be surprised if Jared Fogle, at some point in the near future, dies of suicide via 4 gunshots to the back of the head. Honestly, it sounds crazy. I get it. It sounds crazy. But this is the truth, and you need to know the truth because we do the truth here. This is real shit. This is serious. And again, I'm not saying, for legal reasons, I am not saying that Subway, popular fast food joint, Subway, are currently, as we speak now, operating a haemophile sex ring. Or I'm not saying there's some sinister cabal. I'm not saying in the basements of Subways, from Wyoming to New York, there currently operates a haemophile sex cult. I'm not saying that. I am not saying Subway have any involvement in that whatsoever. But it does make you think. And I think, again, we should be allowed to ask questions. Was Jared Fogle set up? Was he stitched up? Was he the fall guy? Because, you know what I mean? Have we checked the hard drives of every last one of these people? I don't think we have. Do you know the name of the vice CEO or the chairman or whatever of Subway? You don't, do you? They keep it that way for a fucking reason. They keep it that way for a reason. See, KFC, we know who runs the joint. He's got his fucking face on it, Colonel Sanders. We can see him. We can see the fucker. Subway, what mascot does Subway have? Exactly. They're a dark, insidious company. Wendy's, yeah, little red-haired girl, good representation, all right with it. We know where we stand there. McDonald's, who owns McDonald's? Obviously, it's Ronald McDonald's. Yeah? Yeah, exactly. You're getting me now. Jared Fogle was, I suppose you could say, the mascot. He was the mascot of the franchise. All I'm saying, why didn't they give a background check? Why wouldn't they give a background check unless they knew what he was about? And he flew too close to the sun. Now again, I'm not saying in any way Jared Fogle is innocent. All I'm saying is maybe he's a symptom of a far more systemic issue at Subway, right? Because it's like the old Chinese proverb. It's like the old Chinese proverb, innit? One nonce is only 3 steps away from another. Obviously, original in Chinese. I'm translating. Obviously, I'm translating, but it makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think. Jared from Subway was the fucking fool guy. He was set up, and Subway, again, for legal reasons, I can't say they're hiding something. But if they couldn't take legal action against me, I may, possibly, in a parallel universe, say Subway are hiding something. Again, I've got a legal team and everything. It's fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me, dear. I'm fine. Yeah, me and you, we're absolutely diamond white, sweetheart. But I've got to get it off my chest because I'm seeing people talk about Jared Fogle and absolutely, you know, he was convicted. He was found guilty. All I'm saying, just like Epstein, innit? Just like Epstein. You know, he was the big guy. They took the big guy down. But how much did the big guy know? And I want an investigation. I want at least an interview. A sit down. I want a nationally syndicated interview with Jared Fogle. Because Lord knows someone has to fucking give it. Alright? And again, I'm not saying he's innocent, but maybe, just maybe, something fishy with the jury. Maybe it was planted. Maybe Subway, you know, there was foul play involved. You know, forget about Subway, this is foul play. You know, because I don't trust him. Colonel Sanders, you know who he is. You see him all the time. He's on the fucking bucket. Subway, yeah, look at their mascot. What's their mascot been up to? And I think it's a little bit dodgy. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying, and I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. But Jared Fogle, I think he was the fall guy. I said it. There you go. And you can call me a conspiracy nut. You can call me one of these nut quacks on the internet. But I think he was the fall guy. And I think, hearing this now, my 9 minutes of impassioned, screed my edict on the situation. I think I've changed a few minds. I do. I think I've changed a few minds. And hopefully you at least allow yourself to question. Maybe I haven't been told the truth. Maybe not necessarily an innocent man, but a man with information is currently sitting in a cell somewhere. All right. Now, again, I'm not, for legal reasons, saying we should audit every single laptop of every single employee at every single subway across the United States. I am not saying that. But it wouldn't hurt to check. All right? So, again, bullshit intolerant. Bullshit intolerant. So, so that's it then, innit? That's it. And I can't lie to you. I'm sorry, I can't lie to you. By all means, keep being spoon-fed the same narrative from the same places. Yeah? Yeah? And we know, without a shadow of a doubt, ladies, gentlemen, those who don't identify, we know who owns these mass media companies, these networks, yeah? I don't need to say it. I don't need to say it. Who owns the media? It's Subway shareholders. All right? The truth needs to come out because they're doing some, allegedly, in my opinion, they're doing some shady shit behind the scenes. All right? Now, I'm not going, Pizzagate mode here. This isn't Podesta emails. This is Jared Fogle at yahoo.com. Like, I understand that. It's not the same. Because that was obviously insanity. This, again, in my opinion, for legal reasons, has legs to it. This has chicken legs to it. Alright, geezers. Thought I'd do another one of these, Another one of these where I'm just rambling off the cuff. Been doing this for a while now. I'm not sure where you're hearing this or in what context. This is not my first appearance. Dear viewer, dear, sweet, tender listener. But I thought I'd do another one of these ramblage en Dubray. We've got elections coming up. The whole world's got elections going on. It's a weird year for elections. I famously once had an election. It was a terrible time. Movie theatre. That was one hell of a cross-legged viewing of the Titanic. And it is the Titanic. It wasn't Titanic. It was this weird Bosnian sort of, I don't know. They told me as they escorted me out that it wasn't a porn film. I'm not so sure. Those little dwarves, they were asking for it. Were there dwarves on the Titanic? Were there any casualties? No. Just little casualties, innit? Small casualties, minor casualties. No. But no idea where I'm going with that. Weird one. Weird. Off the cuff, as I so often am. Because I am, as we've already established, ladies and gentlemen, and those who don't identify, I am the most honest man on the internet. So, if you hate me, just know that Jesus is upset with you. Alright? It's alright, innit? You can piss off the Christians because, what are you going to do, Twinkle Toes? Forgive me. It's the Muslims. It's those bloody Muslims you want to be careful with. Honestly, do not annoy them because they are fucking nuts. What was I saying? Yes, elections. How many groups, how many contingencies can I piss off in one standstill? I say standstill, I'm actually sort of pacing back and forth in my kitchen. I say kitchen, it's more of just sort of like a hallway with a fridge in it. Oh, I'm living it up. I'm living like Caesar in this place. It's great. But elections, yes, I had an election in a movie theatre. When you go down and you win the theatre. But lots of stuff's happening. We've got elections coming up, and that's too close to home. I'm not going to talk about those. Because British politics, affects me emotionally, and I don't want to get. I don't want to get angry. No, because I'm never angry. But American politics, on the other hand, I love. I love the hobbyism behind it. Because it's great car crash television. I find it hilarious. And, America, right? My philosophy on America is quite simple. I want the funniest outcome possible. You know what I mean? If that is a convicted felon being perp walked to and from the Oval Office, that's what I want. That is exactly what I want. If it is Joe Biden sort of somnambling himself to re-election, great, sign me up. Whatever is the funniest outcome is the outcome I'm rooting for. RFK, frankly, I think that would be fucking historical if RFK Jr. somehow won. That's an outcome I'd like. You know what I mean? That's an outcome I'd like quite a bit. Brainworms to every man, woman and child. No healthcare, but you can get brainworms. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking brilliant. But I'm doing another one of these. This probably won't get posted, frankly, because it's not very good. Just rambling, innit? Rambling. And I'm having my tea. I'm having my tea. I hope you had the time of your life. But, I feel optimistic about life. I'm not sure how you feel about life currently, but I feel optimistic. Weirdly enough. You know what I mean? Because I think things are looking up. I've got a girlfriend that tolerates me. Got my own place. I'm working on projects. Lots of projects. And this is one of them. Although, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't not be a bullshit intolerant clinically. Honestly, I've got the diagnosis. This sort of thing is below me. Or I'm going to be honest. This sort of thing, content creation, quote unquote, it's below me. All right, but if it's an avenue to monetizing people's nihilism and anger, best believe I will do that. Because the only difference between me and every other schmuck on this platform is I'm honest about it. Alright? I'm honest about it. Everyone else doing the exact same thing just as cynically as me. Somehow, more cynically than me. The subtle difference between me and them is I'll tell you point blank, No, I'm doing it for views. I'm doing this for views. And I am. I'm doing it for views. I haven't been doing the best job at it. Considering my modus operandi is to generate as many views as possible, I've been doing a bit of a shit job. Let's be honest. A little bit of a shit job. But you'll be hearing from me quite a bit. Because I've got nothing better to do, innit? I've got nothing better to do, might as well ramble. And if I can somehow monetize it as well, that'd be good. That debate. As I do here, my job is to irritate and annoy. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, what irritates and annoys, what really irks Americans more than an overly opinionated British person that doesn't really like or care for their country having an overly opinionated opinion on their country. So I thought I'd do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about the first televised, streamed debate between Commander in Sleep and the criminal defendant turned convicted felon. The irony, of course, is they're both very old. They're both incredibly fucking old. And only one of them is a convicted felon. So, you know, points to Joe Biden, I suppose. Wouldn't let him babysit, but, you know, that's a personal preference. I'm entitled to that. So this first debate, my biggest gripe with it, my biggest problem with this debate, no RFK Jr. What's going on there? Why isn't RFK Jr. on the stage? I want to see him up there. I've already discussed it previously. My philosophy, I mean, you know, Trump, he went above certain people's expectations. Personally, you know what you're going to get with him. That's part of the appeal. That's part of why some people love him so much. It's sort of like me in that regard. He says it how it is. But you know what I mean? I want all of them up there. I want, what's his name? Kenneth? Dr. Kenneth? Cornel West. Yes, I want Jill Stein up there. I want all of them on stage. I'd like it if they had one person who wasn't a raging Zionist, but, you know, can't have it all. Small victories, innit? Let's get RFK up on there first, and then they can sort of all swoon over Netanyahu. And how much they love him, how much of a pretty boy he is. Give me a fucking break, honestly. And, you know, I've already spoken before about my distaste for America, being a fleshlight to Israel, us being a fleshlight to America. Not a big fan. You know, it's like some weird human centipede situation where we're eating the shit of America and America is eating the shit of Israel. Not a big fan of that. And it's not because I'm an anti-Semite. Listen, I love the Jews, alright? I think they're great people. I've got nothing bad to say against the Jews or the Hindus or the Sikhs. But there is a big difference between being an anti-Semite and being anti-Zionist. And I am the latter. And again, you know, it's no secret. America, at its core, is a libertarian hellscape and, more importantly, dear viewer, a Netanyahu pay pig. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. But that's the truth. And, you know, we do the truth here. But that little tangent, that little prelude and doubre out of the way. The debate. Yes, the debate. Again, that towards the middle, not so sure. Not so sure about that thing that happened in the middle, but the ending. Remember the ending? Oh, what a cliffhanger. If it wasn't evidently clear already, I recorded this before the debate. But if I schedule it for right after, during the debate, front page, we could get some views. We could get some hashtag engagement. So what do you think? I don't really care, but it gets me up in the algorithm. So comment below. You know, show me, really show me. How much do you hate the United Kingdom? Have a go at King Charles. Have a go at the NHS. Whatever you want. Comment below the worst thing about Britain. And it will get me some lovely engagement. So, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I mildly irritate you, waste a little bit of your time, and you help me tick up. Like shit in a sewer, float to the top. That's what we're doing here, folks. It is the sewage strategy. It's very Machiavellian. Very, very devious character. But, you know, that's my thoughts on a debate that hasn't happened yet. I'm a 21M in a top university. I'm ambitious and I work myself extraordinarily hard. I really couldn't give less of a fuck about the money or the status though. I genuinely love my work, and it ascribes deep meaning into my life. I've also been extraordinarily fortunate, especially recently, to be very successful. I'm also fortunate to be surrounded by brilliant and incredible people. I have many strong and intellectually fulfilling relationships with my peers. It's not like my entire life is work either. I've had girlfriends, I go out with friends, and I leave time to be a dumb kid too. On the surface, I'm a pretty canonical, regular dude. But to some extent, it all feels shallow. Everyone around me, including myself, puts on a stoic face. It feels like no one actually cares about me. I feel like if I were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, no one would care. This might be a dumb example, but there's this isolated spot in the basement of my uni where I always go to work. I spend a disgusting amount of time there, alone, grinding. I'm often there from 6 or 7 p.m. through 4 a.m. or later. I fucking mean it when I say I work hard. I have goals and I will accomplish them. But, to some degree, it's so unbearably lonely. No one sees what I put myself through. And even if they did, they wouldn't care. Why would they? Yes, I work so fucking hard, but no one gives a fuck. Everyone only cares about themselves in today's day and age. Especially in the crowds I'm a part of. I was in an accident today. I was in a motorcycle accident earlier today. Completely my fault. Going too fast plus some dirt on the road equals me eating shit. My bike is fucked up. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it yet, as I haven't taken the time to look at it, but the handlebars are bent. The front wheel wobbles. The clutch feels funny, and the front where the headlight is at is barely hanging on. I have some pretty good road rash. Both my forearms and my left knee. And damn does my knee hurt. It soaked my pant leg. Ooh, ooh. Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting the term pant leg to be used in the 21st century. Oh, fuck me. It soaked my pant leg in blood. I was only wearing a t-shirt, so nothing to cover my arms. My helmet only has a little scratch. It was on a public road, too. Not out in some back road somewhere. Anyways, I picked the bike up and rode home, just like that, as if it didn't happen. And I didn't have anyone I could call. I didn't want to go to hospital because I'm poor and don't have health insurance, and I'm not sure how much it costs. I don't have any family I could go to, nor any friends. And I'm aware I'm not seriously injured. I was able to ride home for fuck's sake. But it just... But it just made me realise that if I get hurt, all I have is me. But it just made me realise that if I... Oh, hang on. Bollocks, that's the wrong line. Pouring that rubbing alcohol shit on whatever. Oh! Sorry, scary story. The scary bit is coming, by the way. This is foreplay. Oh, this is a good story. No, honestly, I'm not fucking with you. This story's good. It goes somewhere. He makes a friend and it's a ghost, but that's a spoiler. I didn't have anywhere to go. All I have is me. But when I was pouring that rubbing alcohol shit or whatever on my road rash, I started crying. Not from the pain, but because I didn't have anybody to help me up. I'm aware it was my fault and I crashed in the first place, but somebody to fuss over me would have been nice. Someone to ask if I was okay. Instead, I rode home, parked the bike and cleaned my wounds. With your tongue? And venting here, capital A by the way, venting here has helped me a little bit. So if you took the time to read this, thank you very much. Oh, bollocks, no, this isn't a scary story. Shit. No, there's a bit with a ghost. There's definitely a bit with a ghost. In it? No, he gets a little ghost girlfriend. Well, I feel like a bit of a plum, don't I? Here I was thinking it was a scary story. Turns out doesn't fucking go anywhere. All build up, no fucking payoff. I wanted you. Oh, how do they do it? How do they put up with this shit? I want a GF. It seems like every girl I have to, or have something with, starts well and ends with her seeming disinterested in me. I'm a genuine... Sorry. This sort of language, this whiny, self-pitying bullshit, it's sort of my trigger. I get a little bit... I'm a genuine guy and don't want to be with a woman for just sex. No, of course not. She'd cook and clean for you as well. I want a connection, but it seems every woman I've talked to just thinks I want to use them. Ladies and gentlemen, and those who don't identify, why would that be? Take a guess. Comment below. Why is this guy lonely? And I'm going to give you a hint. I don't think it's because he's 5'12". All right, I don't think that's it. I think there's something below the surface going on with this geezer. And after this, we'll check his search history. we'll check his hard drive. We'll see what he's been up to. I've talked to just thinks I want to use them. It makes me upset. I don't know. I needed to vent this. Has been playing on me mind. Are they from up north? I don't know. I needed to vent. This has been playing on me mind. It happened once around 8 months ago. And it was hands down the greatest feeling. It happened once around 8 months ago. What's crazy too is I've never met or seen this girl. It was just through texting. But it was the one and only time I fell in love. It happened after just a few days of texting. She always initiated the texts first. And I felt wanted and... Alright geezers, thought I'd do another one of these. So speaks a lot himself. The great walking, talking man, Nigel Farage, has re-entered frontline politics. And he's going to break your heart again, isn't he, sweetheart? Honestly, how many times? No, honestly, give me a rough estimate. How many times does he have to fuck you and leave you before you realise he doesn't love you? He doesn't. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. But Nigel Farage, I mean, let's put aside the fact, he's a Russia stooge. He's a corporate America stooge. He's funded by billionaires. He's a career politician. Let's put aside all of that nonsense. Let's live in this make-believe world that he is this outsider. Never forget 2019. Boris Johnson, notorious baby eater, Boris Falafel Johnson, right? Oh, there he was, Nigel Farage, with the pram, little baby Brexit in the pram. The notorious baby eater party asked Farage to jump, and he put his fucking moon boots on, didn't he? He put his fucking moon boots on. So Farage, he gave little baby Brexit to the baby eating party. And what did the baby eaters do? They ate the baby, didn't they? Of course they did. Of course they fucking did. He's going to do it again. Mark my words. He's going to do it again. Because he's a professional grifter. Alright? And listen, I completely empathise with the feeling. You know, the tiredness. The desperation for someone, anyone in Westminster, to give a fuck. I get that. You know, I get that. We have a ruling class that looks down their noses, and it doesn't matter who you vote for, the government always gets in. I 100% feel that. There is a hunger for change, and with that hunger does come that desperation. And in the eyes of quite a few people, Farage is the best of a bad bunch. But let's not delude ourselves that he's something he's not. Because he's done this game how many times now? I've retired from politics. I've re-entered politics. I've retired from politics. I've re-entered politics. He's fucking with your heart, sweetheart. He's not going to call you. He's not going to call you. And by all means, you know, by all means, get angry, lash out, do what you need to do. But when he breaks your heart again, don't come running to me. Don't be on my front doorstep, mascara running down your face. He left you, didn't he? Yeah, come in. And I'll let you in. I'll give you that look of, I told you so, didn't I? I told you so. But this is who Farage is. This is who Farage is. And he'd have the NHS on a chopping block quicker than you can say what's for dinner, mum. But forget about all of that. Because Farage is not a disease. He's a symptom of a far greater problem. And it is this political malaise. There's absolute hopelessness. And from all stripes, from all walks of life, from all political vents, there is such a hunger for anyone to give a fuck about them, to care about them, to care about their families. And, you know, the Tories certainly aren't that. The Labour Party, bless their heart, they try to pretend to be that. Lib Dems are fucking insane. Green Party, Jesus Christ, check their hard drives. Day release as a new poster boy. But you know what I mean? So I completely empathise that there are people out of desperation voting for reform. And listen, I'm not going to vote shame. I'm not going to vote shame. But let's not get carried away with the fairies that Nigel Farage is this, you know, Nigel Farage in shining armour. Because never forget what happened in 2019. Boris, the baby eater, ate the baby. And he ate the baby at Farage's behest. Alright? And he'll do it again. He'll fuck you over again. And I don't know how to get that through to you. So, you know, and it's silly, isn't it? It's silly. Because maybe this is old-fashioned of me. Maybe this makes me some sort of like pink-haired, Maoist, liberal, whatever. I don't want a Prime Minister who's in bed with America. I don't want a Prime Minister who's in bed with Russia or China. Yummy Brexit. Honestly, that was Boris Johnson. That was Boris Johnson. And he's like a deadbeat dad, Farage. You know what I mean? Every year he promises you, Timmy, this year I'm going to take you to Legoland. Timmy's 17 now, still hasn't been taken to fucking Legoland. I'm a 21M in a top university. I'm ambitious and I work myself extraordinarily hard. I really couldn't give less of a fuck about the money or the status though. I genuinely love my work, and it ascribes deep meaning into my life. I've also been extraordinarily fortunate, especially recently, to be very successful. I'm also fortunate to be surrounded by brilliant and incredible people. I have many strong and intellectually fulfilling relationships with my peers. It's not like my entire life is work either. I've had girlfriends, I go out with friends, and I leave time to be a dumb kid too. On the surface, I'm a pretty canonical, regular dude. But to some extent, it all feels shallow. Everyone around me, including myself, puts on a stoic face. It feels like no one actually cares about me. I feel like if I were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, no one would care. This might be a dumb example, but there's this isolated spot in the basement of my uni where I always go to work. I spend a disgusting amount of time there, alone, grinding. I'm often there from 6 or 7 p.m. through 4 a.m. or later. I fucking mean it when I say I work hard. I have goals and I will accomplish them. But, to some degree, it's so unbearably lonely. No one sees what I put myself through. And even if they did, they wouldn't care. Why would they? Yes, I work so fucking hard, but no one gives a fuck. Everyone only cares about themselves in today's day and age. Especially in the crowds I'm a part of. I was in an accident today. I was in a motorcycle accident earlier today. Completely my fault. Going too fast plus some dirt on the road equals me eating shit. My bike is fucked up. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it yet, as I haven't taken the time to look at it, but the handlebars are bent. The front wheel wobbles. The clutch feels funny, and the front where the headlight is at is barely hanging on. I have some pretty good road rash. Both my forearms and my left knee. And damn does my knee hurt. It soaked my pant leg. Ooh, ooh. Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting the term pant leg to be used in the 21st century. Oh, fuck me. It soaked my pant leg in blood. I was only wearing a t-shirt, so nothing to cover my arms. My helmet only has a little scratch. It was on a public road, too. Not out in some back road somewhere. Anyways, I picked the bike up and rode home, just like that, as if it didn't happen. And I didn't have anyone I could call. I didn't want to go to hospital because I'm poor and don't have health insurance, and I'm not sure how much it costs. I don't have any family I could go to, nor any friends. And I'm aware I'm not seriously injured. I was able to ride home for fuck's sake. But it just... But it just made me realise that if I get hurt, all I have is me. But it just made me realise that if I... Oh, hang on. Bollocks, that's the wrong line. Pouring that rubbing alcohol shit on whatever. Oh! Sorry, scary story. The scary bit is coming, by the way. This is foreplay. Oh, this is a good story. No, honestly, I'm not fucking with you. This story's good. It goes somewhere. He makes a friend and it's a ghost, but that's a spoiler. I didn't have anywhere to go. All I have is me. But when I was pouring that rubbing alcohol shit or whatever on my road rash, I started crying. Not from the pain, but because I didn't have anybody to help me up. I'm aware it was my fault and I crashed in the first place, but somebody to fuss over me would have been nice. Someone to ask if I was okay. Instead, I rode home, parked the bike and cleaned my wounds. With your tongue? And venting here, capital A by the way, venting here has helped me a little bit. So if you took the time to read this, thank you very much. Oh, bollocks, no, this isn't a scary story. Shit. No, there's a bit with a ghost. There's definitely a bit with a ghost. In it? No, he gets a little ghost girlfriend. Well, I feel like a bit of a plum, don't I? Here I was thinking it was a scary story. Turns out doesn't fucking go anywhere. All build up, no fucking payoff. I wanted you. Oh, how do they do it? How do they put up with this shit? I want a GF. It seems like every girl I have to, or have something with, starts well and ends with her seeming disinterested in me. I'm a genuine... Sorry. This sort of language, this whiny, self-pitying bullshit, it's sort of my trigger. I get a little bit... I'm a genuine guy and don't want to be with a woman for just sex. No, of course not. She'd cook and clean for you as well. I want a connection, but it seems every woman I've talked to just thinks I want to use them. Ladies and gentlemen, and those who don't identify, why would that be? Take a guess. Comment below. Why is this guy lonely? And I'm going to give you a hint. I don't think it's because he's 5'12". All right, I don't think that's it. I think there's something below the surface going on with this geezer. And after this, we'll check his search history. we'll check his hard drive. We'll see what he's been up to. I've talked to just thinks I want to use them. It makes me upset. I don't know. I needed to vent this. Has been playing on me mind. Are they from up north? I don't know, I needed to vent, this has been playing on me mind. It happened once, around 8 months ago. And it was hands down the greatest feeling. It happened once, around 8 months ago. What's crazy too is I've never met or seen this girl, it was just through texting. But it was the one and only time I fell in love. It happened after just a few days of texting. She always initiated the texts first, and I felt wanted and heard. I ended up sabotaging it weeks later over something stupid. It hurt so bad. I know this isn't really love, more infatuation/limerence, but I just want something like that to happen to me again. It was just so unexpected. At the time, I wasn't looking for love, because I had no idea at all what it felt so good. I had no idea at all what it felt so good. I don't want to go out looking for love, I just want it to come to me again. I feel like the unexpected part is important to me. Damn, I wish I was attractive, must be nice. And again, for the recently concussed in the audience, whining. Oh, 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 it's not scary. He said he's going to read the story. It's not a scary story. Well, I pose you this question, dear viewer, my dear hard of thinking viewer. Can you imagine being this person? Yeah? Because I'm not sure about you. I find that pretty fucking scary. Oh, that debate. That debate. You know, as I do here, my job is to irritate and annoy. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, what irritates and annoys? What really irks Americans more than an overly opinionated British person that doesn't really like or care for their country having an overly opinionated opinion on their country? So I thought I'd do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about the first televised, streamed debate between Commander in Sleep and the criminal defendant turned convicted felon. The irony, of course, is they're both very old. They're both incredibly fucking old. And only one of them is a convicted felon. So, you know, points to Joe Biden, I suppose. Wouldn't let him babysit, but, you know, that's a personal preference. I'm entitled to that. So this first debate, my biggest gripe with it, my biggest problem with this debate, no RFK Jr. What's going on there? Why isn't RFK Jr. on the stage? I want to see him up there. I've already discussed it previously. My philosophy, I mean, you know, Trump, he went above certain people's expectations. Personally, you know what you're going to get with him. That's part of the appeal. That's part of why some people love him so much. It's sort of like me in that regard. He says it how it is. But you know what I mean? I want all of them up there. I want, what's his name? Kenneth? Dr. Kenneth? Cornel West. Yes, I want Jill Stein up there. I want all of them on stage. I'd like it if they had one person who wasn't a raging Zionist, but, you know, can't have it all. Small victories, innit? Let's get RFK up on there first, and then they can sort of all swoon over Netanyahu. And how much they love him, how much of a pretty boy he is. Give me a fucking break, honestly. And, you know, I've already spoken before about my distaste for America, being a fleshlight to Israel, us being a fleshlight to America. Not a big fan. You know, it's like some weird human centipede situation where we're eating the shit of America and America is eating the shit of Israel. Not a big fan of that. And it's not because I'm an anti-Semite. Listen, I love the Jews, alright? I think they're great people. I've got nothing bad to say against the Jews or the Hindus or the Sikhs. But there is a big difference between being an anti-Semite and being anti-Zionist. And I am the latter. And again, you know, it's no secret. America, at its core, is a libertarian hellscape and, more importantly, dear viewer, a Netanyahu pay pig. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. But that's the truth. And, you know, we do the truth here. But that little tangent, that little prelude and doubre out of the way. The debate. Yes, the debate. Again, that towards the middle, not so sure. Not so sure about that thing that happened in the middle, but the ending. Remember the ending? Oh, what a cliffhanger. If it wasn't evidently clear already, I recorded this before the debate. But if I schedule it for right after, during the debate, front page, we could get some views. We could get we could get some hashtag engagement. So what do you think? I don't really care, but it gets me up in the algorithm. So comment below. You know, show me, really show me, how much do you hate the United Kingdom? Have a go at King Charles, have a go at the NHS, whatever you want. Comment below the worst thing about Britain, and it will get me some lovely engagement. So, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, I mildly irritate you, waste a little bit of your time, and you help me tick up like shit in a sewer. Float to the top. That's what we're doing here, folks. It is the sewage strategy. It's very Machiavellian. Very, very devious character. Alright, geezers, I thought I'd do a little bit of a rant. Little bit. Just a small helping of a rant. Video essayists. Right? We all know them, and we all know they're smug pricks. Listen, I'm going to give it to you straight. I will never be a video essayist. Because frankly, I think all of this is below me, but video essays they are the bottom of the barrel. You know, it's as if rock bottom has a basement with these people. You know, I'm not going to be some beard twiddling little faux intellectual. You know, commentating over over videos I didn't make. With analysis I found online, interwoven between interviews I didn't give. They're scum. These are the lowest of the low people. They really are. They are the dregs of society. And much like cyclists, I think it's time we address the problem with them. And maybe there's a solution, right? Maybe, just maybe there's some sort of, I don't know, ultimatum, some full stop, some final solution to how we deal with the essayists, because it's gotten out of hand and they've got too much power on this platform now, and someone's got to do something about it. You know, I will never be one of these little beard twiddlers. Oh, look at me, I've got a 2-hour video on the Nickelodeon nonce. Who cares? I've got a 5-minute video on Paul McCartney being dead. Who's really putting in the effort? Who's really putting in the fucking effort? You know what I mean? But I don't respect these people on a human level, on a content creation level, somehow even less so. They are scum. Alright, so that's my little rant, that's my little chin wobble about video essayists using footage they didn't film with commentary they didn't write. It probably isn't their own fucking voice these days. It's probably some sort of a synthetic little robot behind the scenes pulling the strings. Yeah. Never forget, ladies and gentlemen, and those who don't identify, it's not all the immigrants taking your jobs, it's the fucking robots. Alright, geezers, it's a sad day to be British. Sorry, there's a full stop there. It's a sad day to be British. I read the news today, oh boy. Paul McCartney has no, sorry, that was the other video. Yes, Game. Video game retailer, Game, beloved by many, is essentially becoming another SEX. Not SEX, sorry, CEX. What a stupid name. Kex, sex, no idea what. How are you? Comment below. How do you pronounce CEX? How do you spell it would be a better question. But it's a dark day. You know, it reminds me of that poem, doesn't it? First they came for Woolworths. I didn't speak up. I was the entertainer child. Then they came for Blockbuster. And I should have taken that as a fucking warning sign. I should have rang the alarms then and there. But I was naive. And I was afraid. And I was about 13 years old. And now, finally, old mother mortality has come a-knocking on the door of Game. Now, Game is still going to be open. They're still going to be operating retail shops, but they're not going to be they're not going to be a shop selling games. And we're going backwards. We are going backwards. This is once again a sign of the end. Sad day, it is, but I thought I'd make a video on it. I'm waiting for someone to actually die, so maybe I can get a bit of content from that, but evidently not. No one's going to die for me, which is, unfortunate. Prince said he would. Again, don't think he died for me. I think that was a coincidence, although flattered if he did. Bowie didn't die for me either. Honestly, you just can't find people willing to die for you these days. But yes, that's the news. That is Earth Apologist at 10. Bong. Yeah, game is no more. No more. Kind of. It's still going to be around, but it's going to be a shell of its former self. It's going to be a little cuckold husband, just standing there while you sell second-hand goods. I don't know why it has to be this way. I don't know why it has to be so painful. It's rough, it's rough, but we'll get through it. You and me, and just like the McCartney video, don't worry, I know you're concerned, I'm fine. I was unharmed physically in this heartbreaking news. So chin up, stiff upper lip and all that. We'll get through it. Like the milkman swimming through rubble during the blitz before us, we will get through this. It's difficult. It's a difficult time because I enjoyed game. And, I haven't been in a long time because, I grew up. You know what I mean? Now I like music and girls, and I don't really have much time for computer games. But it's sad that the next generation will not have that. And I think that's what we're sorely missing these days. Not to yell at clouds, but, the more and more the internet becomes ingrained in our society, the more stuff like this we're going to see. Soon enough, you'll have to download your fucking water. It's coming. Oh, it's coming. And it's a dark day. It is. Summer just begun, and quite frankly, it might as well be late, dark, unforgiving winter. Are you the arsehole for not giving up your bench at the park for a family that was going to break the law? That's the title there. I'm Dutch. Oh, sorry. No. I get a little bit queasy whenever anyone from Fetish Europe is mentioned or conjured in my mind. I get a little bit weak. You know what I mean? The hitchhiking, upside down in an Amsterdam torture garden, piss play freaks. You know what I mean? I'm talking Holland. I'm talking Greenland, Switzerland, Sweden. Oh, the Netherlands. Don't get me fucking started on the Netherlands. Denmark. All of these places, deviants. It's Fetish Europe. You've got Western Europe, you've got Eastern Europe, and you've got Fetish Europe. I believe they call it Scandinavia, but that's what they call it. Why would I respect that? So, forgive me. I just get a little bit queasy. I'm Dutch, so forgive my spelling. I can forgive your spelling, sweetheart. I cannot forgive you for being Dutch. I, 23M, was out walking with a very close friend of mine. We'll call him John. Oh, we know where this is going, don't we? Very close friend. I know how you Dutch boys like to party. Come on, John. Come on, John. Just put on the gimp mask, just once, for a joke. It was a very nice day, I bet it was. And we're like, screw it. Let's go outside for once. Brilliant, honestly. Mole people. Which country is it? Iceland, I think. They get about 20 minutes a day of daylight. Again, weird place. If you wanted that, why don't you just go to Scotland? You know what I mean? Why don't you just spend a weekend in Edinburgh or Aberdeen. Why have you got to live? Imagine living in the Netherlands, right? Or any of these places. I do like The Hague though. You know, I feel we need more places that begin with definitive articles. Yeah? I like that. The Hague. The Vatican. Right? I like that. Although, you know, I'd rather not praise the Vatican. Lord knows what goes on behind those closed doors. We came across a very nice place with a bench. I believe that's called a park. So we decided to sit for a while. Full stop. You could look out over this beautiful yellow grass uphill field with an enormous forest behind it, truly gorgeous. Yellow grass? What kind of fucking Chernobyl fallout are you living in? You know what I mean? And we petted the three-eyed sheep. I keep telling you people, fetish Europe is a weird place. You know, with their fucking clogs and their cuckoo clocks and their weird fetishes. After a few minutes, this family showed up and asked us to leave. When we asked why, they said because they were about to scatter the ashes of a dead family member. Oh. A man who passed away from old age. I said I would happily leave if it were not for the fact that scattering ashes here is illegal. What a little twerp! What a silly little twerp! A middle-aged dude, please don't use that word, stepped forward and said that I should respect the fact that they're in mourning and just let them do this. Full stop. He also said that he wasn't even sure if it's illegal. I live in the Netherlands, you've told me, and scattering ashes is only allowed in certain places like crematoriums, the sea, and a few spots in nature. To be sure, I googled if it was allowed in this certain park and found out immediately that it was illegal here. I showed this to this man, and he said I was being pathetic. Fight the tears, sweetheart, fight the tears. He then told me that his father, who was in the urn behind him, will get him out of there, honestly. I hope you've put breathing holes in that urn. Used to walk a lot in this park and would always sit on this bench. He said this was a place that meant a lot to him. I told him I feel sorry for that and that I have respect for that. But he was still breaking the law, which is never good. Not even for this type of stuff. This whole time, John said nothing. And when I looked at him, he looked mortified. And a lady started crying who was amongst the group. You've made the poor lady cry by how much of a fucking dweeb you are. That's an achievement. Honestly, that is an achievement even for someone from the Netherlands. Fucking hell. Oh, nation of cyclists, beard twiddlers, and biscuit crumb covered wankers, honestly. And if you're from the Netherlands, don't watch this video. Click off now. Click off this video. I don't want you watching this. I do not want you watching this. This is an exclusive club. And you are not coming in, sweetheart. He said nothing. The next day he called me and said he won't hang out with me anymore and that we were no longer friends. He wouldn't explain why. The only thing he said is that his girlfriend and all his friends also think I'm a psycho. Then he hung up. I feel bad that this cost us our friendship, but I'm hoping he'll come around eventually. I'll always be open to talk. So Reddit, like I said, in my opinion, the law has to be followed. So am I the arsehole, for not giving up my bench at the park for a family that was gonna commit a crime? Well, you know, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Again, I'm not interested in the details of his little story. Couldn't care less. My issue is that he's from the Netherlands. Or I take real issue with the fact he's Dutch. So, just for that, yeah, you're the arsehole. So that was an episode of Am I an Arsehole? Where I dissect Redditors. Unfortunately, not physically. And we ask the big question. Are you an arsehole? Alright, geezers. Gonna do a video. Gonna address, because I know you've been waiting on bated breath for my much needed input on two trending topics, which potentially, dear viewer, means double the hashtag engagement. Yeah? In it for the views. In it for the views, mate. But I'm going to address the Mr. Disrespect situation and the Master Oogwee happening. You know, these two individuals, I believe one is now outed as a nonce. I could have told you that from the fucking moustache, but alright. And the other, I don't know, the other amped himself up to say a racial slur to an audience of 14-year-olds, and now he's off the internet or something. Now he's been put in some sort of gulag, no idea. But I thought I'd talk about these things, and I'm going to be, as per usual, this is what we do here, I'm going to be honest with you, I do not care about this, but you're morons, and you want to be spoon-fed the same slop over and over and over again. And I'm a giver, yeah? I'm a giver. So I'm going to give it to you. You want the same slop regurgitated up and fed to you like you're a little chirping baby bird, and I am more than happy to oblige. So we're going to talk about these two topics. The Mr. Oogwee, Master Oogwee, sorry. You know, people always like to have a go at me for getting minor details wrong, but you know what I mean. The Master Oogwee situation. Yeah, he's a bit of a prat, isn't he? Should he have been banned? Well, again, you've got to realise, with a platform like YouTube, they don't care about morals or ethics, alright? It's like pink capitalism. None of these places. Starbucks don't give a fuck about trans people. They don't. But they realise there's money to be made. There is money to be made off of these communities. And that's no different with YouTube. No different, mate. They care about one thing and one thing alone, and it's money. And at the end of the day, you've seen it happen with Twitter. You're seeing it happen as we speak with the recently deceased Twitter.com. Advertisers aren't too gleeful to advertise with a platform which amplifies, well, you know, harmful voices, especially when, you know, those harmful voices, quote unquote, have audiences of preteens. I get that. I understand that. It's a cynical ploy to generate money. No different to this cynical ploy to generate money. Give me your money. But, I mean, I only found out about the fucker when he was being cancelled. So, you know, he's doing all right as far as I'm concerned, because now I know who he is. So he's already more famous by my estimations. But that was the Master Oogwee situation. Why is he Oogwee? You know what I mean? Silly. I mean, my issue with him is I don't like his face. I think he's got a stupid face. But I said this about the Hello, I'm Alex happening, which is still happening, by the way. That's still ongoing. No idea on that situation. Maybe we could put his name in the title. Maybe we could get triple views. That would be good, innit? That would be really good. But who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Another channel is no longer on the internet. Oh well. There's plenty more slop. Believe me, I'm making plenty of slop. So if you want slop, subscribe to me instead, because the slop father, he's very generous. I'm a very generous shit shoveler on the internet. and I'm just as cynical as everyone else, boys and girls. The subtle difference between me and your beloved content creators is I'm honest about it. Alright? So if you want the honesty, if you want the no bullshit, the no bollocks approach, you've got to subscribe to me. Alright? Don't subscribe to them, subscribe to me. And right, let's get into the Mr. Men, whatever. Mr. Disrespect. Again, people will try and correct me in the comment section saying he's a doctor. I've never seen his fucking doctorate, so I'm calling him Mr. Disrespect, because frankly, I don't like people. This is what he should be cancelled for. I don't like people who pretend to be doctors. All right, I think it's incredibly disrespectful. Again, I could have told you he was a nonce just looking at him, but evidently not. Evidently, that's not enough proof. You needed to be proven he was a nonce. Now, I've got no idea the details of these allegations. Haven't really looked into it yet. But do I think he's a nonce? Maybe, possibly. Again, not a channel I ever watched, because why would I watch that? But is he going to lose his career? Comment below. Do you think he'll lose his career, yes or no? I don't care about any of this, but I need more slop to feed you. So here's the slop of the day. In other news, Paul McCartney's dead, or is he? Oh, you've got to watch the video to find out. Is Paul McCartney dead? You may never know. You won't know if you don't click the video. And while you're at it, watch my... it's to the standards of a Netflix documentary, in my opinion. The Jared Fogle was the fool guy situation unravelling. Where I expose the dark, sinister happenings, shady dealings of Subway. So... that's another very good video you should check out. But Mr. Oogwee, Mr. Disrespect, fuck 'em both, honestly. Fuck 'em both.